Game of Thrones season 3, episode 9. So this episode was a tragic, okay? So this was the Red Wedding episode. Now, I already seen this before, but this is me rewatching the episode again, and it just hit different than it did the first time I seen it, right? So the first time I seen it, I was like crying, bawling out, bawling tears. This time I seen it, I didn't even cry, but I was just more so paying attention to the shit that I missed the first time, right? So during the red wedding or whatever the case may be, Kat was really on point. Like when it came to everything that was going on, like she was picking up little shit, but she was real slow with it. Like real slow to like announce it for real. And like they had the wedding and everything. Rob went over there to, Walder Frey, basically told his daughters that he was sorry, told Walder that he was sorry, that he didn't marry marry her daughter or whatever the case may be, but he was in love with somebody else, so that's the reason why. So Walter looking up the daughter up and down or whatever the case may be, I mean his wife up and down, talk about, oh, she more finer than my damn daughters or whatever the case may be. So they have the wedding. His uncle gets married to, Walter Frey's daughter, and she's a pretty girl. You know what I'm saying? So the uncle is kind of happy that he didn't get one of the uglier looking girls. Okay. So as they about to go to the wedding ceremony, mad people start leaving the hall. Like all his daughters and everything. Like a lot of motherfuckers start leaving the hall because they all know what time it is, right? And his Rob's wife was like, "You don't think that that's strange? Like that's a strange custom. Everybody running and doing all this extra ass shit at the wedding." He was like, "Oh, it's just tradition or whatever the case may be." Rob ass ain't been to a lot of goddamn weddings, so he can't say which tradition and what ain't tradition or whatever. The only thing he do know that's tradition is the confirmation, what is it, consummation of the marriage. That's the thing, right? So after they all out of there, the guards start locking the doors. So Kat peeped that. It was like, damn, like they locking the doors and shit. So Bruce Bolton sitting there next door, she peeped that he got on armor underneath his freaking stuff like that, right? Underneath his wedding outfit. So actually I wouldn't even call it a wedding outfit. He just had armor underneath his clothes, right? So Kat was like trying to warn Rob, like, Rob, this is an ambush type shit. But right as she was ready to warn him, after she was picking up on all the shit that was going on, like the crazy melancholy music and, the doors being locked and he got the armor and weapons and shit on him, and she looking at all the people positioned in certain type of ways. She didn't even have a chance to tell him before they started shooting arrows and slicing and dicing, right? So it was just really sad. Like the first time I really cried because it was just horrific. But this time I was just, like I said, paying attention to everything. So Walter Frey is like, yeah, I wanted to give you a wedding gift, your grace to my new king, yada, yada, yada. And they end up, stabbing that girl up or whatever, his wife. And then they end up, then Catherine was like, basically had his other daughter wife under captive or whatever, and he was basically telling her like, I will off her if you don't let my son get up out of here. Like you could keep me, just let this shit be gone, let's let it be done, whatever. She was really like trying to plead for her son life still, and she was like, let it be done, let it be done, and then but they still got Rob out of there, and then she was so distraught that she wasn't even fighting back. She off the Walter Frey wife, and then they offed her, and that was just like the end of the scene for real. Now Arya is getting there, so now Arya is getting there to the Twin Towers or whatever to where the wedding is. But just as she's getting there, they inside of there, all that shit is taking place in the hall. So on the outside, they taking care of all the other men of the all of the other Winterfell men or whatever on the outside and off and all of them. So she see all that or whatever. So her crazy ass trying to go and run in there to go get her mother and them, knowing damn well she gonna be off. But the Hound basically stop her and knock her ass out and pull her out there before she do something stupid. Cause she seen the dog, Rob's wolf or whatever get executed, and she's seen all that stuff. And I guess she was trying to like warn her family, but it was just too late for her to do so. So, over at the wall or whatever, Bran and them, they inside this little tower because it started raining. So Bran walks into Hodor or whatever, and they was telling him like nobody ever did that shit before. Like that's some new shit. You know, people was normally able to walk into animals, but not a whole person for real, right? And basically he had walked into the dog and seen that John was out there. Now the wildlings then turned on John because they wanted John to off some innocent ass horse caregiver or whatever. And John wasn't trying to do that because he like the man ain't do shit. Basically, when they was trying to run up on the man and take his horses, John warned the man by tapping his sword on the ground and alerted his horses, alerted the horses to alert the man to get the fuck up out of there because, it was people coming after him. So by the time the wildlings got up to where the man was, he was already on his horse getting ready to go for real. See, John's smart. And see, I ain't peeped that in the first time, but rewatching it, I seen all that, right? So Bran seen that John, was out there and the wildlings was chasing him, so he no longer on that side anymore. But Bran is like, he got to go beyond the wall and see what's going on while the three-eyed raven is calling him, and this, then, the third. So the one lady that was taking care of them, her, Rickon, and Shaggy Dog is going towards their father's bannerman or whatever the case may be, like some other people that's supposed to be helping them in Winterfell, and the rest of them is going beyond the wall. Now, Bran must don't know a lot of them people ain't their fucking friends, okay? So they should have just sent them to Castle Black where he know that they was going to be safe, but, they don't got a lot of friends around because they just letting off in their family left and right, but he don't know. So Daenerys, she over there taking cities and basically taking over a whole city still. Like, she's still a force to be reckoned with over there. And everybody in Westeros and wherever the hell they at, they just don't know. Like, she ain't playing no games. And what else happened in this one? I think that was pretty much it. Stannis. Lord Bruce Bolton, he sat there and orchestrated that whole thing with robbing them and Walder Frey, or whatever the case may be. And he must don't know Stannis had put his motherfucking name in that fire too. So he put Robb in there. Robb is already out of there. He put Bruce Bolton in there. So his ass is about to be next. So he's sitting there doing all that wicked shit. Talk about Walder Frey he promised to marry one of his grandchildren or whatever the case may be. Like, you an old ass man talk about marrying somebody's grandchild. Like, sit down some damn well. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that happened for real. That was like important to me that I seen. Those like all important scenes. And then Sam and his girl ended up getting closer to the wall pretty much. So they almost on their way to Castle Black. But it's so crazy because I would have thought that John would have seen the wolves out there, whatever the case may be. But I don't know if he seen them out there or not, but they was hiding out there. They was out there hunting. So he would have known like his brothers is close, or maybe he did know and he led them away from his brothers probably. So yeah, I don't know. But y'all let me know what y'all think, and I'll see y'all in the next one.